Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jae and Joaquin. What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? This is Joaquin.
And this is Jae.
And we are so glad that you are joining us this week for this week's episode. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about, I guess. A lot of we're going to kind of bare our souls a little bit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh, I lost you there.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, you're still, fix your, nope, no, oh, you're almost there. Yeah, you got to unplug it and plug it back in. No, I don't know what you did. You broke it.
I didn't do anything.
This is why we have technical. Try now.
Hello.
There you go.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, Jay wasn't paying attention, and he jostled it. That's what it was. You jostled the wires, Jay. No jostling. No jostling. Sorry.
Twasn't I.
But anywho, so what's up, man? What you been up to this last week?
Chilling.
All right, Junie.
No, Junie is.
That's true.
Nothing. Just a whole lot of struggling. This pollen is trying to do away with my sun.
Right.
So it's just a little bit of that.
Yeah, this pollen, I think is trying to do with a lot of us.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I went to go see Waska on Saturday, and apparently, pollen is trying to do it with my brother and my nephew too.
Yeah, it's global warming. So we have
Talk about global warming.
That's why we have so much more pollen.
Talking about global warming. Did you hear? I read. I'm gonna have to look for it, right, and send it to you. But I read somewhere about the iceberg. I think it's the one that's near Iceland.
The one that sunk the Titanic, right?
The one that everybody was claiming
Was melting.
It's melting because of global warming or whatever. That it's freezing up again and it's growing again.
Really? Yeah, I don't know what to believe. I mean, come on. I mean, I just recently found out the Earth was flat.
Yeah.
So I mean,
same here.
What am I to believe? What am I to believe? What am I to believe? If the Earth is flat, it rains up. The sun is down. The moon is backwards.
The moon apparently does not reflect the light off the sun. It's its own light source as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love when I learn new things.
Yeah. Apparently it's its own light source, and it's there right now. And the sun as well is up in the sky right now at 20 to 9.
Right.
Both the sun and the moon are up in the sky right now. You can see them both.
Ah. Yeah,
because the Earth is flat.
Right.
And we're in a dome.
And we're in a dome. A biodome.
a Simpsons dome.
A terror dome. Welcome. Welcome to the jungle. Well, that's like I read this. It was like one of those little meme things.
Meme of what?
Memes. The memes.
Oh, the memes?
Yeah, so I know somebody calls them memes, and I just don't have the heart to correct them. Because, he's one of my bosses. So somebody like posted like on Facebook or something. They were like, if I can't send a peanut butter sandwich to school with my kid because your kid has allergies, you can't send your kid to school unvaccinated, going to give my kid measles. Ooh. And somebody responded with peanut allergies are caused by vaccinations. Google it.
both a help and a detriment.
Right.
But it has, at the same time, become the greatest source of comedy.
Right. Hold on. Try.
Yo, 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 yo,
Oh,
yo,
oh,
yo, yo.
oh. Yeah, we're having issues here with the cable for whatever reason.
What's up with the Bat Cave?
Ah.
Should have gone to the Fortress of Solitude.
Well, the problem is the Fortress of Solitude is underwater because the ice melted.
This is very true.
So, Superman couldn't use that super breath. It was hot.
It was hot. It was hot breath.
He had them fire nachos, them fiery
Fire
Cheetos. Anyway, you were saying the internet is been both the bane of our existence
And a great help, but then
Yes.
also our greatest source of comedy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, it's funny because like I've posted things. I don't really post a lot, but every once in a while I'll post something about. Well, the last time I posted anything about vaccination stuff, I had somebody come at me like, "Oh, it's just propaganda and blah 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 blah." And that's when I said, "You know what? I'm out. I will now only post cat videos." And cute babies doing cute babies
Dressed as cat.
cute baby stuff. Like it's funny though, right? Because it's like the more information, it's weird. It's like the more information we have, the dumber we've gotten. Right? It feels that way. Like the
Well, the thing is that anybody can put anything out there,
right.
and everyone else who is it's so funny. Anyone who is looking for something to grab onto and
Right.
believe in
They can find it.
will consider it gospel.
They can
Right?
find
It
it.
doesn't matter what it is.
Unless it's the gospel.
they'll consider it gospel. Unless it's the actual
unless
gospel.
it's the actual gospel, and then they're like, well, there's nuance.
Yeah. True that.
But yeah, for me this weekend was cool. I checked out this new Puerto Rican spot
Oh, yeah?
called Pablo's. Cafe Pablo's, I think is what it's called. I sent
Cafe Pablo's or Pablo's Cafe?
who the heck knows? One or the other.
Womp womp.
All I know is that I sent you the link to it, so I decided to go check it out on Saturday.
And?
It was dope. I cheated. I had a quesito, and it was good. I had a latte. Or actually, I asked for a café con leche, and they gave me a latte. And I was
gave you
kind
a
of
latte?
upset because even though a latte has leche in it, I mean,
It's not the same.
but it's not the same, right? But the best part was I walk in, I hear the girls in the front counter speak Spanish. So I walk in.
You speak Spanish and they spoke to you in English.
And no. I didn't say anything. I just walked in. I'm looking, and they're like, sir, can we help you? Like struggling English.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they ain't been here long English. And then, here's menu, mostly sandwiches, that kind of thing. And I look and I go, yeah, just give me a quesito y un café con leche. What? Mira hablando español, and we're struggling.
Oh, one of those things.
Oh, yeah, one of the things.
Now he's gone. See?
Yo, yeah, there we are.
It's not me, it's the cable.
Yeah, I think it's time to replace this
Cable.
cobbler. Cobbler.
Cobbler.
Yeah, man, that was pretty good. But it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Went to Spanish church, and that was good.
You
And
went to Spanish food.
then
went to Spanish church.
Then I went and saw Shazam for the second time.
That good, huh?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man. It's like when I saw it the first time, I walked away going, I cannot wait to see it again. Saw it the second time, I had just as much fun as if I had just seen it the first time. Like I really, really liked, and it was number one in the box office this weekend, made 53 mil. So looks like DC's hit another home run with this new strategy. So
So DC hire us.
So DC hire us, and we'll keep hitting home runs.
Yo. That's what I mean.
We'll be the Bash Brothers, but without the steroids.
That meme I sent you? We're the new DC trilogy.
Yes.
I mean, Trinity.
Yeah. Bats and Superman. What about us? Yeah, that was pretty funny. But speaking of DC, I started reading was it Metal Knights? What's it called?
Sure.
The comic with the Joker clown and the series. What's it called?
Dark Knight Metal.
Dark Knight Metal. I started reading that today. Pretty good.
I have it.
Pretty good.
I didn't read that the whole time it was out.
No, it's pretty good. Like if you kind of, I found a page that gives you kind of like the order to read it in.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been reading that order. It's been pretty good. All I know is that DC Universe has dropped all those comics, and they're about to drop a ton of Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age.
I saw something today.
What'd you see?
I saw Justice League, the Furious 5.
Oh, I saw it the other day.
Yeah? You jerk.
Why?
Because you ain't tell me.
Oh. It was like a throwback to the DC. It was to the DC animated universe.
It was a throwback to the Bruce Timm. It was seeing a Bruce Timm cartoon.
Yeah, Justice
but
League.
with curses. It was
Right.
like the Justice League Unlimited, but with curses.
But with curses. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was all right. It was okay.
Yeah, it was. It was nothing to brag about.
You know, I was entertained. That's all I cared about.
But
it was sad. It was a sad ending, though. Like, it was a sad ending.
It was.
Like, I was not expecting
That
ending.
that.
But it was a
No
sad
spoilers.
ending.
That, but yeah.
But you know what, though? It had a pretty good message about kind of overcoming
Mental health.
your well, not even mental. Well, I mean, there was the mental health aspect of it, but for me, the girl's problem wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, she had PTSD. Really, is kind of what she had.
Yeah, but in the books, it's PTSD, but she's also has like afraid of going outside.
Right, because of what happened to her family. So, but the way I looked at it was like she was getting help for it, but it was not, help wasn't enough. She also had to believe and overcome. Right, she had to believe it in herself. To be able to take those steps. Where at the beginning that she was like, oh, I can't do this, and then when she finally, snapped and accepted that she could do these things, like she ended up blowing up the spot, quite literally and figuratively. So, but yeah, that was pretty good. So, couple of things been going off around the world. So we have Jay with his ice not melting.
The ice reforming.
Let
me see if I can find that.
And but here's a couple of things. We got Gotham coming back on the 18th for the final 2 episodes. We got 2 weeks left of Gotham. I saw the trailer earlier. And they're going all out. So that got that to look forward to.
Greenland, not Iceland.
Oh, Greenland.
Fastest thinning Greenland glacier threw NASA scientists for a loop. It's actually growing. Greenland's fastest flowing and fastest thinning glacier recently threw a real brain bender at scientists who realized that instead of shrinking, the glacier is actually growing thicker. This was last month, on the 27th.
You should tweet that. You should tweet that at Trump. And he'll retweet it. I told you. Well, I can't do his voice. I sounded more like Kennedy there. But yeah, yo, did you see that article I sent you about New York wanting to split up into 3?
The Empire State Building into 3 zones.
No, not the Empire State Building.
Oh, it was the Empire State Building. I didn't read it, to be honest with you.
It was. I sent you this stuff to read it because it's
I
interesting.
know. I'm just tired of you sending me stuff about my home city.
But it's interesting. They're trying to pass legislation that would split New York into three sections. So like basically New York City, right? Would be one.
Break liberals' grip on New York by splitting state into 3 regions.
So you'd have the northern, so upstate New York would be one. Then you'd have New York City with the boroughs, right? All that would be one. And I forget what other counties would be the third ones, like Nassau and some of those other bigger counties.
Out in Long Island.
Yeah, and so then the idea is basically the governor of New York is like a figurehead, like the Queen of England. So they don't become 3 different states. They're all still, but they all run their own district. And then
it's like a divorce, a clean divorce. Yeah, where you raise the kids together with no drama.
Right.
We don't know that's a fairy tale.
So I mean, yeah. So I thought it was funny because they're like, yeah, we just want to do our own thing because
one state for the federal government's purpose, Buffalo and whatever up there. Yeah, you're right. Right. New York City's 5 boroughs, 8.6 million residents, and keep the name New York. And then the suburbs, the birds out there in Long Island, and will be called Montauk.
And then upstate New York would be New Amsterdam.
No, it's Buffalo.
Not. I think it's New Amsterdam. I think that's what they would call the region.
Oh yeah. I'm saying okay. On the top, they said they wanted Buffalo, but the rest of the state, upstate counties, will go back to New Amsterdam. Get out of here with that noise. Get the hell out of here with that noise.
I hope they do it because I know California was also looking at doing the same thing.
It'll never happen.
I don't know.
There's a whole lot of other things that will happen
after
in New York,
after losing Amazon. That really set some people off. So that's all I'm saying. I just thought it was kind of hilarious.
New Amsterdam, New York. Yo, they have their own website already. New Amsterdam, New York.org.
Yeah, because
Yo, they got license plates designed and everything.
Yeah, because upstate New York is especially ticked because
divide New York State into one state with 3 completely autonomous regions. I mean, we don't consider upstate New York anyway, so.
Well, but upstate New York is like, all these resources going into New York City, going down there, and they're just like, we want to handle our own stuff so we could bring industry up here.
Yeah, because we get our water from up there.
Could you imagine they cut the water off?
Yo, the whole grid is powered by that reservoir upstate.
Where's the water?
The whole grid, not just the water, the electricity, like everything.
Upstate New York would be like, oh, we not New Yorkers? We not New Yorkers? Okay. Well, guess what, New Yorkers? You ain't got the water. We're gonna call you Easter. Was it Western Jersey?
Oh my God, that's an insult. That's when I say I'm glad I'm in Georgia.
go bathe in the Hudson.
Ugh.
You'll see the pizza places scooping water out the Hudson. Oh man.
And then we'll finally find Gotti. No, not Gotti. Gotti is found.
Gotti's okay.
No, Gotti's not okay.
I mean, relatively speaking.
Hoffa. That's what I meant to say. Hoffa.
Yeah.
Find Hoffa.
Yeah.
In that pizza water.
In somebody's like pepperoni slice. But yeah, that was just one of those funny things. All right, so let's kind of get to some of the more serious things here. Let's do that. So anyway, so I was gonna say, like, so Shazam came out this weekend. 53 million. It did well. Hopefully it'll continue. It'll continue building. But super excited. Can't wait for you to see the movie so we can talk about it. And then where was I? Oh yeah. Excuse me. The other thing, that so we're gonna kind of keep with the movie theme. So apparently, and this came out today, somebody paid $15,000
Ay, mi madre.
for a pair of tickets to see Endgame, to see Avengers Endgame, April 28th showing at AMC's 84th Street 6 Theater in New York City.
No, it was in Jersey.
No, this one says New York City.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, my bad. This is a previous report
Right.
for the New York. But see, they got a bargain because they only paid $9,199.
Right. So somewhere in Jersey was the 15,000.
So let's see, where is it at? I think, yeah, $15,000, yo.
I mean, yo,
you couldn't wait a couple of days.
That's a car. That's like a down payment on a house.
Yo, that's
in Jersey. That's a whole building.
Nah, Jersey's still expensive, and it's a burnt out building in Newark. Anyway, yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, there it is. I was looking at 2 ticket listing for an AMC in West Orange, New Jersey on opening afternoon, $15,000. And there's still tickets with like people asking $2,500, $5,000, and then some, between $50 and $250 for one ticket. Like seriously?
Yo.
Like seriously?
Yo, somebody at my job, right? It's so funny because you sent me that text right when somebody at my job was asking me about it. It's like, yo, Jay, did you hear that somebody paid $15,000? And I'm like, get the hell out of here. Then you send me the text like, yo, my boy just sent me that article. Hold on. So I open it up and then I read that some people bought tickets for as low as $2,500. Right?
Okay, now I hope you understand the absurdity of what you just said.
Oh no, wait. I'm getting somewhere with that, right? So he was like,
Boy,
he was like, I was like, oh, yo, this thing is saying that some people bought tickets for $2,500. So then he said, look at that. He paid $15,000. He could have just gotten it for $2,000. And I'm like, did you hear what you just said? He also could have waited a couple days and just watched it for $10 at a matinee.
Yeah, paid well, I don't know, like 20 at a matinee, right? Because matinees, you know what my dad said the other day? My dad goes, what, why don't you just wait and go watch the movie in the afternoon and pay $3?
Oh, my God.
I'm like, $3?
What is it, 1945?
I'm like, Dad, what do you think this is, 1988?
No, because in the
1945 would have been a nickel.
In the 80s, it was $6.
Not down here, I don't think.
Hey, mind your business, Siri. Mind your business, Siri.
Hey, Siri, you're not the invited guest. Hey. No, down here it was like $3 to go see a matinee.
All right, because I remember back home, I remember like going in the afternoon.
$6 is nothing though, right?
Movies for $6.
Now T-Mobile Tuesday. I mean, not T-Mobile Tuesday. Now AMC Tuesdays, if you're a member of Stubbs, it's $5.
Yeah, and NCG has a $5 Tuesday
too.
I
think. Wait a minute. I pay for AMC Stubbs so I can watch it.
Diablo.
But but I'm thinking, like,
but still, right? He was like,
really?
see, $2,500. I was like, dude, $2,500? It's still a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for him. I mean, here's the thing, though, right? If it was, I could say I understand. I could say I understand if they're showing it that one time.
I understand if it was for the opportunity to go see it on the red carpet with the celebrities,
and no one would ever see it again. I remember like the like that Wu-Tang album that dude bought for like $5 million.
Right.
And he's the only one that could listen to it. And now if he wanted to give it away, he could give it away, but he couldn't sell it, right? But it was like $5 million, but he was like exclusive, right?
Right.
Now I could understand if you're telling me like, yo, this is like, you're getting like the IMAX experience
all by yourself.
You're getting the food. It's just like you and like 15 other people. And once we show this movie, that's it. no one will ever know. The Marvel universe ends with with Avengers Infinity War. I would be like, that's crazy, but
I get it.
I'd be a little jealous because I couldn't go watch it. But yo, son, they're playing it on Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday. Just you pay $15,000 just to say you were one of the first ones.
With everybody else that paid regular price.
And then you heard about the 59-hour movie marathon, right?
Yeah. Somebody told me, hey Jay, you gonna go see that? No.
It was like I think you had to pay. I think the price was like $1,000 or something.
I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm like, oh well, yeah. Somebody asked me like, what do you think about that? I'm like, well, first of all, like for reals, I just go to Redbox, rent all the movies, and it'd still be cheaper, and I could pause them to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Second of all,
aren't they on Netflix?
No, only 5 of them are on Netflix. Then, second of all,
just to pay to watch as bad a movie as Thor 2 again?
No, to pay to see as bad a movie as Captain Marvel.
Oh my God.
To have an irrational hatred for that movie. Yo, at the end of Shazam, we're outside waiting. We're out thinking about going to get something to eat, and this kid says, my buddy David asked this kid, he goes, oh, what you think of Shazam? He goes, that was good. Wasn't as good as Captain Marvel.
Did you backslap him?
And I just, like, David looked at me, right? He looks at me, and I look at him, and I was like,
I thought you were going to backslap him.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to so bad. But I was like, they're all a bunch of Christian kids. I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, you can. And then you tell them in Spanish. Pa que aprenda.
Pa que aprenda, idiota. Yeah, that was pretty bad. So speaking of Captain Marvel, Shazam, trailer for the week is one that has been highly anticipated by us,
by these guys,
and that is they finally. And it was funny, right? Because it's a 2-minute and 24-second quote unquote teaser trailer.
That's not a regular trailer. That's the time for a regular trailer,
right? That's what I'm saying. It was a 2-minute, which I'm glad because when I saw teaser, I was like, oh great. All they could do is gonna like show him like maybe like walk around and laugh, and then that'll be it. But they gave us they gave us a trailer. What you think, Jay?
They did. They gave us a trailer.
What'd you think of the trailer?
I got nothing to say. It's so awesome.
Well, I mean, no, you have to say something. That's the whole point of what we're doing.
It's so awesome. Yo, it was amazing. Like real talk. It was amazing. It's so funny how you only think of the Joker on these comic book scenarios, right? And even
right.
And even the movie versions of the Joker have been still just a bit fantastical, right? Yeah. But here you see a grounded Joker. Right. He's grounded. He's real. He's that guy that you walk past and you see talking to himself and you're like, yo, this dude is crazy. I got to keep away from him.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just the guy that you just kind of see and you might think to yourself, oh, this dude, right? You're just kind of, this dude, because he's just not impressive, right? It's not an impressive guy that you see in these trailers. You know, he's a dude that takes care of his mom, right? And it almost looks like he lives at home. Like, you know, and then he's talking to, you know, starts off with him talking to a psychiatrist, you know, or a therapist or whatever. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
And that was Zazie Beetz, right? The chick in like the diner with him?
Yes. Yeah, that's some people say it might be the love interest.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, she was Domino in Deadpool.
Right. So, but like, I mean, just from the jump.
Yeah. So from the jump when he's
talking to the
therapist,
and he gives that smile, like he turns and gives it that smile. It creeped me out, right? You're just like,
and his voice,
yeah,
right? His voice,
and when he's laughing at the comedy club, and you're just like, that's the Joker laugh.
yo,
Then he's laughing on the subway, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the Joker laugh.
when he's on the subway and he's getting beat up by those guys,
Yeah,
and he's just laughing about it.
yeah.
Yo,
You want to unnerve somebody? Laugh while they're beating the crap out of you.
I've actually done that.
You want to unnerve somebody, do that. Oh, and then just at the end, like and I think Angel pointed this out. When you see him walking up the steps, how he's all hunched over, like he's a nobody. And then at the end of the trailer, when you see him walking down the hall, and he's walking with like a swagger, and he's got, like the flowers, whatever, and he's just walking down that hall. Like it's a different, like that juxtaposition.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, we'll look at it later. But if you look at the trailer, like in the very beginning, you see him, he's kind of hunched like this. He's just kind of hunched over, and he's just kind of walking like up the stairs, and he's just kind of hunched, defeated. At the end of the trailer, you see him walking, and he turns the corner of that hall, and he's just like strutting, like he's about to go do some damage.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch that again.
Yeah, like he's like, it's crazy. I sent you guys a little loop on it. But yeah, so the Joker, check that trailer out if you have not. But then it's the other thing in the song of the week before we jump into
a topic.
Yeah, a couple things. So this is a dude that we've kind of he's slowly becoming, for me, one of my favorites. I really like his stuff. I cannot say his name.
Yeah, I can't either.
I'm gonna try.
Give it a shot.
The song is called Sideways. His name is Sajan Nauriyal, Nauriyal. Sajan, Sajan. Anyway, the song is called Sideways. He's been putting out some really, as far as I'm concerned, he's been putting out some pretty dope music. So make sure you check it out. So that being that, all right. So we got music out the way. We got our Joker trailer out of the way. We give our big ups to
big up
Shazam.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it. Like Magda and I had plans on watching it yesterday, but my nephew, JD's son Malachi, got really sick Saturday night.
Right.
So no sitter.
That's what you call and you're like, hey, yeah, so I know the baby's sick, but you can still watch the kids, right? you can still watch the kids, right?
You know how paranoid Magda is. That would never happen. And then I wanted to contact one of the girls from Legacy Nights, but I wasn't sure if she was still out of town for spring break or not.
Well, I mean, contacted her, you would have found out. Boom, boom. So now we got Shazam.
But yeah, I mean,
you want to talk about Chick-fil-A? Or you just want to skip over that?
Chick-fil-A.
So basically,
no, I want to skip over it.
We'll skip over it. All right, so
it's already
time. It's done. Basically, the thumbnail sketch of it is there's two airports, Buffalo, New York Airport, and San Antonio said no to Chick-fil-A because their foundation gave to organizations that they quote unquote say are not friendly to LGBTQ plus peoples, even though the stores have never been investigated for any kind of discrimination. Look up the articles.
Just,
get outraged on your own.
Google it. Right? Do your own outrage.
Get outraged on your own. We'll skip this soapbox, which is hard for us. All right. So this week's
not really for me because I'm just so tired of all that.
Not me. I love ranting and raving. I mean, one of my favorite podcasters. That's what he does, and I love it. I live vicariously through him, or I should say, I rant vicariously through him. So this week's topic is was not really a topic. It's almost more of a continuation from last week.
Or a reflection for this week.
Or a reflection. So a lot
I don't
of
know what you're doing.
was that
I don't know what you're doing.
who?
You.
Yeah, you do. I told you what we were going to talk about.
I don't know what you're doing.
So Jeremiah 29. We're going to start with the verse. So Jeremiah 29 verse
11.
Oh yeah, it is verse 11. You know, it's funny because that whole like chunk of verses, all of it plays together, right? For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not disaster, to give you a future and a hope. In those days when you pray, I will listen. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. I will be found by you, says the Lord. I will end your captivity and restore your fortunes. I will gather you out of the nations where I sent you, and I will bring you home again to your own land. And so,
Word.
last week we talked a little bit about, following the plan, right? I believe that's what we talked about last week. Was that it? Where we, sorry, hold on a second. Sorry guys, I lost it here. All right. So last week we talked a little bit about following the plan. Right? If God gives you something. Follow what he gives you. Don't deviate because someone, tells you, you should do it this way to speed it up, or this idea works. So this week, Jae posted this really long post.
It's always blaming me
on Facebook and Instagram. And so talk about the post. Talk about the post.
It was a reflective post, right? So like we mentioned last week, like Joaquin said, we talked about, following the plan, trusting the plan, even though like it doesn't make sense. Oh, I finished my drink.
Right. Sucker.
Right. So I am in the process of with Dre of the Anaxis Group. He's been on the podcast twice already. We're in the process of doing a showcase in Canada during what's known as Canadian Music Week.
The Great White North.
A showcase and a panel, right, with a whole bunch of industry heads.
What panel?
I gotta talk to you about that because you're gonna laugh at something that just happened concerning that,
awesome.
right? But the thing is that this thing came out of nowhere. Not only did it come out of nowhere, but for every door that was shut in our faces, trying to make this thing happen. That's how the people say, oh, when man closes the door, God opens a window. Yeah, no. Like, man closed the door and God, like, kicked the building down for us, right? It's just like amazing things like that, where I would get upset and Dre would be like, Jay, just, man, God is doing all this. Just trust the process. Right. Trust what God is doing. And then I'm like, oh, but I get so frustrated, man. People suck.
Relax,
and then,
mijo, relax.
Right? And then, like, the very next day, I'll get a text early in the morning. Hey, look at what God did. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Oops. Wait, sorry, God.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, get the heaven out of here.
Right? But anyway, so it's just a reflection where this whole Canadian Music Week thing and everything that I'm looking forward to up there. And just the fact that I can travel again, right? Thinking on that, I'm no longer a criminal.
Right. Well, you know what they say.
I've been redeemed, damn it. I've been redeemed. Right? But then also, everything with Legacy Nights. Because everything started with Legacy, right? As we talked about last week.
Right.
And like, no lie. I mean, I said it last week. I'll say it again today. Like, I really was donezo.
Right.
But I remember talking to my wife about it and just wanting to be done, right? With all things. Like I said, I mean, I did mention this last week.
Right.
But just keeping our doors open so that these kids can come in and have a place where they can worship and pray, right? And just be together.
Right. If they want.
Right. And right, and it's funny because she laughed at me, because it's not easy for me to be still when it comes to like ministry or whatever. Although I feel that after 25 years, I've I'm
gotten worse at it.
I'm past due. I'm past due, right? Because we've had these conversations where we know a lot of pastors,
right?
That they should have like retired a long time ago,
yeah.
But for whatever reason they don't want to. Pride. I'm sorry. I think I choked on that monster. Right. So they don't want to let go of things, right?
Right.
You're so stupid.
What?
The Monster Energy drink. And we know a lot of them.
Right.
I was having a conversation about one of them on Saturday, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, leave Oscar out of this.
Right. So I wanted to, just not quit on God or quit on church or just quit on being
trying to be a minister
in active ministry. Right. Just chilling.
Right.
Just going to finding the church, being a servant in the church, just listen, being a consumer like everybody else.
Right. Right. Being everything that you've taught against.
Right. Exactly. But, I get to chill.
Hey, listen. I'm okay with my hypocrisy.
I'm okay with my hypocrisy. And like she laughed at me and she said, well, if you think you can do it, then yeah, awesome. Like she's not going to be against that. That means me home more, right? Right? Just, us doing things as a family more instead of just, hey, baby, I got to go. So, sorry, just remembered something. So then Dan of the Ice Kitchen offers up his place.
Right.
And even with everything that happened,
right, it went off.
Right,
it was a good night.
It was a great night, and I honestly thought that he would be concerned because of how the night ended.
Right.
But no, he hit me up. Yeah, hey, when do you want to do it again? We can keep doing it. It was awesome.
Right.
And I'm like, oh.
And that's on top of like some of the kids in the worship team going, oh, well, this is the last time we could do this. Because we're gonna blah 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 blah. And when they said that to you, I thought to myself, oh, Lordy, Jay's going to be like, why can't I get it to work? I always try.
Dude.
But I was proud of you. You didn't react that way.
I didn't. You know why? Because it was so great that night. Like, I was determined. So, like, even if we have to go and between everybody, old school it, a cappella,
right,
with some videos on like projecting on the wall.
Right.
Right. We would do that. I'll put on some Jesus Culture, some Hillsong mixes on the wall or whoever else, and we'll just sing right along with the best bands in the world.
Right. Just do the lyric videos from YouTube.
Yo, we had Jesus Culture at worship tonight. What?
Yeah, Jesus Culture and Hillsong United.
Right. So
that.
Yeah, I was because
that.
Let them quit. I don't care. Right. This, Legacy Nights wasn't built for or around them.
Right.
So
around anybody.
It's all about Jesus. So when they did that, I got a little. I didn't get upset. I was more cynical.
Right.
I was like cynical. I was like, oh, here we go again with this. Whatever. I yelled at it. Right. That's on you. But just reflecting, and then it was a lot of things. Right. It was the Legacy Nights thing. Right. Monday nights, Ice Kitchen. I'm going to Canada next month.
Ugh, right.
To have in this big celebrated non-faith.
By the way, in my list of countries I'm beefing with, I always forget Canada. That's how you know.
Oh yeah, that's right. In a huge secular event,
right?
We're gonna have a hip hop concert, but with
all believers,
all Christian hip hop,
right, quote unquote,
and people are like excited about it,
right?
Because the lineup is bananas, but still, like people are excited about it. And
I thought you were having people perform,
and it's on the strength of relationship. I'm ignoring your corny self, right? And I think maybe next week we'll cover the conversation that I talked about here that I was having with Juice. That dude, I'm so burdened now that I can't sleep.
Right. Well, I mean, talk about it.
No, because then we'll veer off.
That's fine.
We'll veer off. No. We have to stay focused, right? And I'll be honest and say that, and you know this, it's not the first time that I've wanted to quit,
Right.
but it's the first time that I've wanted to quit, and God has been like, bam, 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 bam. Go ahead, try it.
Right. No, the best part of this whole post
Is you laughing at me?
all the while Joaquin is laughing at me. And you should have put all the while Joaquin is laughing at me and calling me Pastor J.
Well, our faithful listeners know that part.
But yeah.
Yeah, but then something also happened to you.
Nothing happened to me. Let's keep going with this thing.
Something also happened to you,
So
Mr. Random Letter Getter.
so
No llore, mijo, no llore.
no, I'm not. I'm having the same problems your boy is having, man. This the pollen isn't killing me, but it's just kind of annoying me. Okay, so and in that post, you know, reflecting on, God's been doing these things, and so, and that's where the verse came from. Because you alluded to it, right? About
because
about the plan.
plans to give you hope in the future. Because I did feel hopeless when it came to ministry because of all the stuff that just fell apart.
Right.
Right.
But what's fun? So what's funny is, and let's see if we can get this tied back into my thing. What's funny is that when, we talk, this is all right. It's all interconnected, right? When we talked about, we're going to go back to the plan, which is legacy worship. That was always the plan.
Always the plan. Always.
Right. So when you said we're going to go back to the plan, and then you let all the other stuff drop. You let it fade, and you just focused on the plan. You focused on, and it's funny because, I mean, we've been friends so long, and remember, I've always told you, like, Jay, we've had this kind of, I'm like, Jay, you got 10 things you want to do. Focus on like 3 things and do those 3 things, right? Because Jay being a creative will have 1,000 ideas, but nothing happens with them, right? Because there's no focus, right? Because you can only give each, if you have 1,000 ideas, you can only give each one a certain amount of time, right? Before to even try to get it going.
Yeah.
And so when Jay, as pertaining to last week, when Jay took that step back, he was like, legacy nights, and he started focusing on legacy nights and building with those kids, right? And really building with those kids. And then, with the management thing, and then with, and then this thing, right? Just kind of focusing on, let's put these blocks together. Let's put these things down. Boom, boom, boom. What happened, right? Stuff started happening. Right, and tell me if I'm wrong. Right, so then, right, so then just stuff started popping off. Where now, we got the one thing we had always talked about wanting to have, which was a place to do worship. Set, and the guys, and then and it's not even a thing where we had to beg the guy to let us use it. He's all in. He's 100% in. Now you got this opportunity where he's going to be able to take his artists, to this event that's a big event in another country, his artists with Dre's, and that's exposure for his management. And, it's allowing him to do, something that he loves to do, right? Which is put these kind of events together. So the
Dude, it's like this thing, so, God is opening doors to other countries around the world for us.
So
it's crazy.
So the to me, right, the through line in that is that you stop being distracted about how you felt about this, or how this went, or how this thing didn't go.
And stop being distracted on making my own plans
and stop being distracted and doing your own thing, and just say, I'm gonna focus on God, and I'm gonna focus on 1, 2, 3. And what happened? Stuff is popping off. Right? And now it's giving you an opportunity to then be able to branch out a little bit and because Jay's gonna start doing study videos, like short study videos, right?
Right.
That don't take a lot of time, but that he's gonna be able to start putting those out because now he's slowly building an audience of people that are interested in that. All right, so that's it. That's awesome. We're done for tonight. We don't have to talk about me.
Yeah, and talking about distractions.
So talking about distractions. So this week I woke up, went to church, and I was sitting. So I'm sitting at church, and it was funny is that I purposely sat where I sat so that I could kind of be off on my own,
as per usual,
right? So we're meeting in a school auditorium, so I took the seat all the way at the end next to a wall, right? And so so I sit down and I'm doing what I do, which is be distracted. That's all. I'm always distracted. Right? Because I'm there at church, but I've got my attention split between whatever it is I'm mindlessly looking at on my phone and whatever it is that's going on stage. And so I'm just sitting there, and this guy sits next to me. He came in and he sat down next to me, and I didn't think anything of it because,
you weren't even paying attention.
No, because it's church, right? I mean, there was empty seats next to me, so he walked down and he sat down, like what happened anywhere, and nothing special about this dude sitting down next to me. But then when the service was ending, he gives me this piece of paper, and I have it here. Maybe we'll post it.
No, read it.
No, I'm saying maybe we'll post it.
Yeah, okay, but read it.
So he gives me this piece of paper, and he just gives it to me, and he says something like, "Hey man, have a good week" or whatever, and he just leaves.
He just disappears.
Right? Like a mist, like a specter. No, so he walks
like an angel.
So he walks away, and I had this piece of paper like in my hand. I'm like what?
At least it wasn't a declaration of love.
I don't know. That might have made me feel better. At least I know. At least I know what to do with that.
Probably.
Thanks, but no thanks. So he gives me a sheet of paper, and I'm like, what the? And so I open it, and this is what it says. And I'll say this. I read it, and then I took a picture of it, and I sent it to Jay.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at what this guy just gave me.
Who does he think he is?
And Jay said, ruh-roh. No. So this is what it says. It says, hey. And once again, I don't know who this guy is. Never seen him in my life. Hey. You are an amazing man of God. Oh, strong start. Strong start.
You know what that reminded me of when I read it?
No.
Reminded me of your favorite guy in the Bible. Hey, mighty man of valor.
Who's my favorite guy in the Bible?
Gideon.
Job? Oh, Gideon, yes. You are an amazing man of God. Distractions has you sidetracked. God is desiring your undivided attention. You have not allowed God access to all of you. Rid yourself of everything that causes you to divert your attention. If you take an empty cup with intentions to fill it up with water under a faucet, you would strategically place that cup squarely under the running water. The result, now here's the first what? The result would overflow if placed in the right position. Position yourself for overflow. God is more than enough for what you are currently going through. It is solely based on positioning. Sometimes you will not receive everything that God has in store because we are out of position. Align yourself and watch God overflow. Yo, he said it 3 times. Is there some kind of numerology significance in that?
I don't know. I don't follow that.
But what I say? We are out of position in line yourself with water. God overflow. Watch God overflow your life with.
4 times.
No, that's the third time. I'm rereading it. because I had to make the numerology correct. Watch God overflow your life with all good things you desire.
Ready?
Yes. No, wait. And it says, have a blessed day.
The number 3, biblically,
Biblically.
represents divine wholeness, completeness, and perfection. If there was ever a desire to highlight an idea, thought, event, or noteworthy figure in the Bible for their prominence, the number 3 was used to put a divine stamp of completion or fulfillment on the subject. Ooh.
Now, if you say Gideon is in that part of that thing, I'm gonna shut this down. We're done. You're on your own.
Jesus answered Satan's threefold temptations with 3 scriptural references.
Oh, okay.
Jesus' ministry lasted 3 years. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And 3 times Jesus affirmed his love. Yo, it's hard.
Gideon tested God 3 times. No.
It was twice, right?
Twice. So, I sent this to Jay, and Jay's response was,
Yep.
what was your response? You remember?
I think it was something along the lines of, yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree. So I know Jay's not my friend. The response he was supposed to give me was like, who does this guy think he is?
Only your real friend would know that about you.
Word.
I freaked out when I read Overflow.
Oh, did you? 3 times, right?
Yo, I read Overflow. I was like, yo.
3 times, fool.
Oh, and I wrote someone, who does he think he is? I was like, he's someone who listens to the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit.
Yo, I did. I kind of freaked when I read Overflow.
Right.
Because that's your word.
Right.
Right? Overflow is you. The reason why this podcast is named the Overflow Podcast
right, is because
that's you.
That's, when I tried to do a hip hop night, and that's what it was called. It was called the Overflow podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, the Overflow night or whatever.
And when you had the youth group, Overflow. Right? And podcast, Overflow. 3 times.
3
Overflow.
times, fool. Yeah. So, so I read it, and then I reread it, and then it kind of, then I because I don't think I saw your post actually when you actually posted it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think I might have seen it late. So when I read it, and then I read, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to plug in here. There we go. When I read it, and then I read this note, and you know what? Here's the funny thing, right? Because I've said this before, and Jay knows this to be 110% truth. I have always been skeptical about when people like I have a word.
A message from the Lord.
Right? When people, you go to serve these services, and people always say, "Oh, I have a word from God for you." Right? There's only there's only a handful of people. A literal handful of people that if they said to me, "I have a word for you," I would be like, "Okay, well, what you got?" And even then, I'm still a little like, because you know me.
Word.
So what kind of made me go, wait a minute, was the fact that this dude spoke a lot of truth.
He did.
Now, part of it could have been that he saw me, messing with my phone.
Just mess with your phone all the time.
And he was like, this dude is distracted. Let me mess it.
This guy's been on his phone the whole service.
Let me mess his week.
Yeah, but no.
But there's, I think the linchpin in this thing that causes us to go, wait a minute, this is really Holy Spirit stuff.
Is overflow.
Because he wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know.
Even if you were distracted on the phone the whole service, like he wouldn't know.
Right.
That.
He wouldn't know this. Because I don't know this dude. Right? I don't know this dude. And even when I had that guy, when that guy prophesied over me, prayed over me, prophesied over me, that was how many years ago now? So it's not like this dude was there, or even if he was there.
Or maybe that was him.
Ooh, the guy was turned. I don't think so. Because there's truth in this. I have been distracted. I do get distracted. You know, I am going through. Well, who isn't going through things? But this spoke to me. But then when I read this, and then when I read what Jay wrote, for me there was like a bridge there, right? It was almost like this is where you're at. You see the things that are happening for Jay. This is where he's at, because to a certain extent, to a certain degree, your boy Jay has stopped being distracted, you know, about his feelings about this, that, or the other when it comes to ministry, right? He stopped worrying about what I'm a failure, I've done this, or I haven't done that, right? And so what I want to say then is, and I haven't figured this letter out completely.
Yeah.
As far as what I need to do, right? Or how I'm going to tackle this, I guess I should say. I got thoughts. But I did want to share this. Number one, because, you know, one of the things that, this is going to sound funny. One of the things that I think we kind of pride ourselves in is just being honest about who we are. And just being honest about, you know what, listen, you know, we offer solutions that we're still working out ourselves. And that's why we believe in them, right?
Yeah, we know what to do and what the steps are to take.
Right, because we've been doing this for years. You know, grew up in the church.
I grew up in these streets.
I grew up on the pews. It's a hard life on them church pews. Some of them have cushions. Some of them hard pews.
Some of them are.
So, but I was telling Jay, I was like, you know, I want to share this just because if anyone's just listening, right, and you know that you're feeling distracted,
or you don't realize,
or maybe you don't realize that, hey, wait a minute, maybe I am distracted.
Maybe I have been distracted all this time.
You know, I think this message, right, or this, I don't know if it's a message, this letter that was given to me, you know, I think it might apply to somebody out here also who's listening. You know, that, you know, we, right, you and myself and Jay, all of us, you know, need to constantly be aware that we have to focus on God and not allow ourselves to be distracted by this, that, or the other, whatever that might be. You know, earlier this year we talked about, you know, being distracted by television, by the internet, by social media, you know, by whatever. And maybe this is, for me, I know it's a good, for me, it was almost like a, hey man, like, let's have a little reevaluation time.
Yeah.
You know, let's have a little reevaluation time. So I just wanted to share this because, I thought it was funny that, one of the things that I've always said is I want somebody that I don't know, that doesn't know me, to say something.
I dare you.
I dare you to say something. This dude was a coward. He couldn't say it. He had to write it, which is actually the worst because it's hit me in the face and I can't just, you know, say, oh, I forgot what he said.
Yeah, it's funny because I've done that, like written things down, because you just never know how the person's gonna take it, like being approached by a complete stranger,
Right.
And being told all these things. Like, you don't know if they're gonna like accept it, they're gonna punch you in the face.
I've got a lot of rejections because I'll put like, I love you. Do you love me? Check yes or no, or maybe.
So stupid.
And it was always a no. So we'll push forward. But but yeah, it's a difficult thing, right? I can understand why he gave it to me and walked away.
Right.
Because that's a terrifying thing. I know my boy Mike, you know, like he's always like, he's got that kind of intuitiveness with his spirit where he'll come up to people and he'll be like, can I just share a word with you? And I know that that terrifies him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's a scary thing
because you don't know how somebody's going to react. So I can get it going here, then bounce it. But anybody out there, and you know what? I think we will. We'll take a picture of it. We'll post it up on the Instagram. I ain't ashamed to share this.
I'm not ashamed to share this letter
to let you know that I'm distracted beyond the flow of a flow. So we'll share this, and hope it speaks to you. But the thing is that if you are distracted, right? If you feel like maybe things aren't happening, are you focused on what's not happening, and is that distracting you from from maybe the other things that God has for you? In Jeremiah, once again, right? It says, I'll be found by you. I will end your captivity, restore your fortunes. I will gather you out of the nations where I sent you. So the thing is that for God to be able to do that, we have to be focused on him. And we can't allow ourselves to be distracted by all this other stuff that's going on in the world. Whether it's your irrational hate of Captain Marvel, whether it's your 100% focus on whatever issue is the thing, or as we always kind of clown, maybe you're trying to gain a platform, or you're trying to do this thing, or it becomes about that thing. I'm going to be a musician. I want to be a Christian musician. So I'm just focusing on that. But that's what you're focusing on. You stop focusing on God. Whatever it is, right? If we want those plans and those promises that God has for us, we have to stop. We have to take stock. And then we have to figure out what step we have to do so we can make that 90-degree turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the thing is like with me, right? My distractions were things that I thought that I was doing for ministry or for the kingdom, right? So it's not only like secular things that can distract you,
right?
You can distract yourself by wanting to do too much at once, right? And pushing your plans over God's plans,
right?
So it's a good idea to take a step back, right? Take a step back, and what I did was I took a step back, and I let go of everything for a few days. A few days meaning like a month or two, and just really started asking God, "Yo, either show me or I'm done." Like, it's funny because like I have these conversations with God that would offend the most religious of person,
right?
And I'm like, "Yo, like I'm done. Like my desire is to be done. My heart is to do work for you always, right? My desire though is to be done,
right?
So show me where it is that I'm supposed to be, or what is it you want me to do,
right?
Because I just want to rest, right? And that response came in the memory of, remember when we were on the Jesus Freak cruise,
right?
Like how I got wrecked at that Toby Mac concert. That had nothing to do with the concert or the music, whatever. It was just that was when God showed me. So it's a good idea to take a step back and really ask God. The book of Samuel, when in the beginning of the book, the beginning of Samuel's story, God calls out to Samuel as a child, remember? And Samuel wakes up and he runs to Eli. It's like, "Yo, what do you want?" Right? And Eli's like, "Oh, why are you waking me up? Get back to sleep," right? And this happens it happens three times.
Oh my gosh. And I'm 43.
It happens 3 times. And on the 3rd time, Eli is like, "Yo, like it
Eli, you're right.
like the light bulb goes off." And he's like, "Hey, the next time you hear it, right? Ask God, well, what do you want? What is it that you would have of me?"
Yo, God, I'm
right.
here.
So when Eli hears his name called again, it's like, "Oh, yes, here I am, Lord." Which I have a funny story to tell you about that later. Right? So sometimes we just, instead of hearing God's voice and telling him, right, what it is that you're going to do or what it is that you want to do, right? Be like Samuel, right? And respond with, "Here I am, Lord." Right? And then listen for him to tell you what it is that he wants.
What do you want? Well, what it is that, you need to kind of put to the side.
Yeah, what you need to
What's distracting you. So that was it.
Yeah. Stop running to Eli whatever the Eli is in your life, start running to Eli and start asking God.
Stop hitting me up. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah. So just wanted to share that because it was just kind of a very real thing that happened this week to both of us, and
it's according to my Instagram post, I have it at the same time because apparently I wrote that yesterday, not the day before.
Okay. So, yowza, parallel God movement. I don't know what that is. Okay, so that's it. So, listen, if you're distracted, figure out what you need to do. I'll say this now, and with this, I was listening to Ben Shapiro, this interview he was doing. He was talking about how, because he is Orthodox Jew, you know, and this is something I've thought about, something I've brought before, maybe something we need to revisit. Or I need to revisit about the Sabbath. But he talks about, you know, there's a time, right, from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, everything gets put away, the electronics, everything, and it's just about him spending time with his family. And we could use that time, yes, not just to spend time with family, but to spend time with God, to just listen, to just be silent, to just kind of chill and let God speak, because we've removed these distractions. So, with all that being said, I'm Joaquin.
And I'm still Jay.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.